Hey guys, I'm Kate. Welcome back to my channel, and today I want to share a bit of a failed writing experiment. I want to chat about the lessons I've learned even in this failure. Failure meaning that I did not achieve my initial goal, not that I didn't get good words in, right? This whole experiment was inspired by a question that Heather Rose asked on one of my Twitch streams, and so I set up a poll. I was wondering how many people had felt like that they had done binge writing before, how many people had done it and hated it, how many people that's just their general style. I remember reading an interview with Tahira Mafi years ago, that basically said that the way she wrote was binge writing, where it's like for 2 weeks, all she did was write, and that's how her first several novels were completed. And like, cause she would just, you focus on that level and that seems to be all that exists. She said it wasn't necessarily healthy, but that is how she wrote initially. She was pulled into this world and could not write it right. Not write it right. Yes. So a lot of people were pointing out that NaNoWriMo in itself could be considered binge writing, where you're trying to achieve 50K in a month. That's not something that most of us hit, certainly not every month, and most of the time just during NaNoWriMo. So that could count as binge writing. I think it might have been Heather again who said that my 5K for 5 days experiment was binge writing. And it's something that I hadn't really considered in that vein before. For some reason, when I think of binge writing, I think of my Tahira Mafi example, where it's like you were just beholden to the story. And so this binge writing concept is something that I'd love to talk about at the end. But I need to set up the failed vlog portion of this, the failed experiment, by telling you what I was aiming for, because I never discussed it in the process of vlogging, which was that during the stream, I think this was about the 17th of February, maybe the 18th, I wanted to try to finish out the rest of February binge writing this one project and just see if I could get it done. This was the full-length romance novel that I've been working on since the start of February, you know, the month of love. My goal initially had been to get the story done in a month, which I think we can go back to that being binge writing in itself. But I was like, okay, we're just gonna make one final huge push because I was very behind. And my hope was that I would really limit the amount of work I was doing on everything else. This will play a part later. Now, with most of my failed writing experiments, what often happens is that my body or my mind does not want to cooperate with what I had planned, as was the case here. So I wanted to start this experiment on Monday the 21st. Well, your girl was taken out on Monday and that carried over to Tuesday. So then the rest of the week, I was fighting with a feeling well enough to do some work, and then quickly, like, I guess I didn't quite measure, I did not quite know how to measure how much energy I had. And so I would be all gung-ho about this thing thinking I had this much energy, like this much in the tank, and then it would just like rise really rapidly and I would hit here and just be exhausted. So I tried one method on Wednesday, which is what I want to take you through now. Let's get that bread. The plan is every 1,000 words, I'm allowed a pomodoro of another activity. Oh, hi. Bye, kitten. Another work activity, I should specify. That is 1097, so it's time to switch to this video that I'm hoping to get up today. I need to do the final pass of edits and hopefully cut down on the time a little bit. All right, in 25 minutes, I managed to edit fully 8 minutes, so we're gonna have to stop here. Look at that face. And return to Scrivener. Vin, are you using me as a table? This is rude kitten behavior. Alrighty. Can you Good job. It is 9:40 now. Good job, Zelda. Zelda. Buffy. We have Sadie over there with her treat. You already had your treat this morning, huh? Do 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 do. Just after 11.
Welcome to BELOOOOOW, your 30-day yoga journey. I'm Adrian, this is Benji, and we're so glad you're back for day 4. Let's go.
All right, so I have 2,000 words, did my yoga, got the video, finished editing and uploaded and posted. I did go a little bit long on one of the breaks just before I did my yoga. So we'll see if I do better the rest of the day, but now I have a cappuccino to power me through. So I actually did kind of like the Wednesday method, not necessarily for a binge writing thing, because again, the initial goal was that I would only be working on the story and like that, you know, that daydream of mine that I like just lock myself in a cabin in the woods and only write and I get it done in a week. That's what I was trying to channel, and I obviously was not doing that if I was taking breaks to do other work. However, I do think that it was really helpful, again, had I had especially my full energy at my disposal. But I think that I would absolutely do this method again. We're just introducing a pomodoro when I hit a specific word count. So the rest of the day is kind of loosely structured. It doesn't really matter what I'm doing so much as like, okay, instead of 1,000 words, I'd probably redo this with 500 words. So I get my 500 words in, awesome. Time to focus 25 minutes on another work task. Do another 500 words, another 25 minutes here. So it doesn't matter how long the 500 takes me, which was one of the things that last 1,000 words really took me quite a bit of time in comparison with the first 2,000, yes. So then we move on to Thursday's attempt. Okay, so yesterday I did not quite make it to 3,000. I think I was actually at either like 2,900 or 2,800 words. Before the end of the day, that last 1,000 was definitely the toughest to get. And it's gonna be interesting attempting this experiment because it could definitely be one that I fail. But I'm curious to see if I find myself, if I'm doing other work along with the writing, if about 3,000 is where I tend to tap out every day. I think if I was truly doing a binge writing sort of experience, I would be writing a lot in the evenings too, and I might get to that point, but for now, I'm trying to keep my evenings free. That said, right now I'm at 15,629 words. I do want to point out that you can see a little bit of color. And that's because when I'm normally drafting for the first time, I'm not using an outline. This is the first time that I've written a full outline that makes sense and is super comprehensive and has everything in it. But as a discovery writer, oftentimes I'm learning about the characters as I write. And so I think I basically just let myself stray a little bit farther as I was trying to figure out who these characters were and stuff. But for the whole story to play out, certain things need to be hit at certain times in certain ways, you know what I'm saying? And they were not hit that way. So what I'm gonna go back and do today, like right after I finish this scene, because I just wanna feel solid about getting some words in, I'm gonna go to the chapters before where I had missed these little bits, and they are small. Like, some are just internal monologue that I need a character to have because that's gonna be important to hit later. So it's one of those where it's like all their actions are matching up to this, but I really need to like cement it further with a bit of musings. Another one is the payment that one character gives another. I think it's important to do some of it up front instead of just the deal that I had on the page. Another one is the importance of the coffee shop being closed on Sunday because the owners are like religious light, and that explains why she's able to go off on a Sunday. It's things like that that were kind of small that I just skipped over explaining. So the plus side is I know exactly what to do. I guess the downside then is that I technically did not do it at the start, but I do feel like I have a better grasp of the characters. So, you know, for my first time fully writing an outline at the start, I feel like I'm doing well. I will also say that one of the things I realized in the writing was that calendars are just the bane of my existence and timelines, but I didn't make a timeline for this because I was like, it'll be fun. It won't be that hard. And apparently timelines aren't that hard for me. So I effed up one of the days here, and so I do need to rewrite the outline just a smidge. What I actually have on the page is closer to what I think the outline will be once I finagle it more, but alas. Also, this is my coffee bug today. Where have you been, yay, all my life? Heyo. And I think you can see that I was a lot more gung-ho at the beginning. But again, I just like did not have the right gauge for how quickly I was going to tire myself out, which is why I was doing all the talking to the camera and then like the next cut is just working from the bed for all day. I was happy with myself for almost hitting that 2,000 at the end of the day. So I was working into the evenings, which I'd not initially planned, but I really just wanted to get the words in. I was enjoying the story and just going at a much slower pace than I had hoped. Certainly than I'd hoped for the experiment. So that's kind of the interesting thing about setting my mind to doing one of these vlogs or like planning out this experiment and be like, I got this. So I'm not upset about the about 5,000 words that I was able to vlog. I'm really proud of those words. I'm proud of those days and I'm proud of pushing through. And I'm happy that the other days I chose to, you know, not do the experiment at all and just like kind of put myself first, right? But basically by the end of this experiment, today is the 28th of February, the final day of February, when I was supposed to be done with my binge writing experiment, when realistically that experiment just didn't even happen, right? So I'm faced with the idea, the dilemma of, do I just throw away this vlog footage because it wasn't like, I didn't even have enough days to truly call this an attempt at my concept, you know? Or do I make this video? So to end this video, to end this failed experiment, I'm glad that I'm actually doing something with this footage. I have so much footage of stuff, of experiments that I've started and just have failed in a very similar manner and just tossed out. So this is the cathartic moment for all of those moments too. But I am curious if you guys have ever binge written anything before and how you would define binge writing. Like, would you classify NaNoWriMo as one of those activities? And if you're someone who participates in both NaNoWriMo and Camp NaNoWriMo, is it one of those things that you make a goal to keep Camp NaNoWriMo from feeling like that binge mindset of NaNoWriMo? Or do you feel inspired by it? I've talked about my friend a bunch who goes through sort of like energy and inspiration bursts, I would say. There's some downsides to those energy and inspiration bursts in that, you know, your progress over the year isn't necessarily what you want it to be, but you did make substantial progress in the 3 months when you were focused on this activity. And also you made really great progress in the 3 months when you were focused on this activity and whatever. You know, some people just like to have that thing. So are you someone who likes to binge write your novel and then when it's on the back burner, you know, focus on binge painting? Or do you just take the binge element out of it altogether and you're just, this is, you know, that's just how it is to you. I am curious. I did think that one of the interesting parts of the Twitch discussion was talking about the like kind of post-binge hangover. One of the like common examples I think a lot of us have experienced is the after NaNoWriMo hangover. When you've pushed so hard and you just feel depleted, and also there's a lot of seasonal elements in there where you just don't feel like creating much in December, or carrying that over into January or something. Do you think that fundamentally a binge must be met with this hangover? Anyways, I am excited to continue my romance project into March, which is my new plan for it. One of the things that I've been enjoying and hoping to keep up with is rather than letting my own little flights of fancy whenever I get an idea in switching projects, is that I need to complete a full draft before I allow myself to pivot to something else or to introduce something else that would take its place, right? Like I shouldn't be working on another romance project and putting this one on the back burner. So that's just kind of something that I'm working toward for myself. So I'm excited to continue this project into March. I love the characters and I'm excited to try the like weird version of a pomodoro that I've come up with. Yes. Oh, and I forgot. Please also let me know if you're someone who either like an author tuber, a blogger, or anything else where you document your writing. Have you ever had an experiment that you were attempting to do that you just failed spectacularly part of the way through, but you were still really proud of your progress? Because I would love to know. Yes. But thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you especially to some of my new patrons this month. Joella Luckhart, Eli, Ashley Robles, Josh Liam, and Samantha Jane Gruby, and I'll see you all very soon with a new video. Bye!